Look at this. Now, TJ, look at this box, right? This is smart. Why do tablets come in boxes this thick when they're only this thin? Think about the shipping costs and the freight costs that you're saving when you get like 2 of these or 3 of these in the volume of one. This is 14.6 inch S8 Ultra. I wanted the 256. I couldn't get it. These things were sold out for months. And they had a bundle deal if you pre-ordered fast, which I did. So I was able to get the 128 gig. So this is only going to have 8 gig of RAM. Done. I feel like Clark Griswold. I need a drum roll before I open the box. There's not many things you can get excited about, right? You know, so when the new piece of tech comes out, and not just a new piece of tech, but a uniquely new piece of tech. Nobody's got a tablet this size, and oh my word, is that thin. You see, I played around with the Surface Book years ago when that came out. You know, it had the screen that clipped off and they called it a clipboard and it lasted like 2 hours, which was terrible, Microsoft. But I liked the idea of it. But the thing with big tablets is they always felt so ridiculously big because they were thick and heavy. Dude, this thing, I mean, okay, yeah, it's heavier than the phone, right? But not by much. Like in the hand to hold, this is not a heavy tablet. Let's see if I can get it open. Whatever this fabric is, it feels pretty, let's put you over there. So in the box, we have the tablet, got another pen. I've got pens coming out my ears right now. What am I going to do with them all? I wish there was a way to hide this somewhere, but there isn't. Although I believe from the photos that there is a magnetized something on the back, so you can do that. And I think I saw a picture with it magnetized on the side. I don't know. Other than the pen, again, not a whole lot in this bad boy. I'm guessing charging cable and micro SD. So it's not a SIM tool, but it can take micro SD cards. Upgradable memory, that's a cool feature. That's something I would use on a regular basis. Put a terabyte in this bad boy and use it for your daily driver. Dude, it feels tall. Like to hold in my hand now, it feels tall, but it's not so top heavy. Like you would expect the taller it goes that it would tip over. I mean, it's there, but you know, my iPad Pro was pretty heavy. Like it was just a heavy tablet and it was definitely a chunky thing compared to this. That doesn't feel that bad. And this way, honestly, dude, it's like I'm at the movies. If I was watching something on this, it's literally like I'm watching a movie screen. Hey peeps, it's a late night edition of Mike Drops Tech. We got our hands on some new Samsung Galaxy goodies just a few days before the official launch. So we're burning the midnight oil here to get you a little bit of a look at the new toys before they come out in case you're still deciding whether or not to buy one. So first up is going to be the Tab S8 Ultra. They released 3 new tablets, an S8, an S8 Plus, and they are basically identical to the S7 and the S7 Plus. Same size, same look and feel pretty much, give or take, you know, a 0.1 millimeter or whatever the difference is. And then they released this new bad boy, the Ultra. Now, I gotta tell you, I like the naming convention. You've got the Pros, you've got the Pro Maxes, you've got the Pluses, you've got all these weird and wonderful names, and then along comes Ultra. I'm not sure how you top it. I'm guessing somebody's gonna try it, but right now it just sounds awesome. Ultra. So the Ultra is a 14.6 inch tablet. And you might be thinking to yourself, why did they go to 14.6 from the 12 point whatever that the Plus was? I've got a theory about this. If you hold a tablet vertical in portrait mode and you put it side by side with an iPad Pro, interestingly, the width of the Ultra is almost identical to the width of the iPad Pro. But the Ultra obviously is a 16:10 screen ratio, whereas the iPad is a 3:2 screen ratio. Personally, I still think a 3:2 is the best ratio for a tablet being held in your hand, but they got the width where it's really usable, because my gripe with the previous gen S7 Plus is it was great in landscape or widescreen mode, but you flip it, you know, kind of vertical and it was skinny. I mean, it was skinny if you're trying to read a web page, you're trying to read a book on a Kindle or whatever. I mean, it was... So by going that little bit wider, I think they made it a lot more usable. I think pages are going to render the right way and you and me are going to have a lot more fun playing with it. So that's my theory on how they got to that screen size. Now 14.6. What's been amazing to me as I've been playing with it is just how usable it is in the hand. The thinness, the weight creates a balance that really is about as balanced as you could hope for something this size. Obviously, if you're in portrait and you're holding it with your hands at the bottom, it is going to feel a little bit top heavy, but if your hands are anywhere from about a third to the midpoint, it's going to feel pretty even. If you're holding it in widescreen mode or landscape mode, it feels great. I think the big difference between this and something like a Surface Pro 8 or even a Surface Book where the screen clips off, the Microsoft devices, they have a bit more heft and a bit more size to them. And it's not that it's bad, but for a lightweight portable tablet, those few millimeters make the world of difference. I don't know how it is, but in your hand, the feel is a lot more than you would think by the differences on paper. I think it feels great. Are you going to be thumb typing in widescreen mode? Unless you've got hands the size of Hercules, I don't think so. But if you flip it in portrait mode, if you can handle a 12.9 inch iPad Pro, this is going to be a piece of cake because it's a couple millimeters narrower. Let me get some scale for you. Here's my head. It's not a big one, but tablet versus human head of Mike. I think I could almost get two heads side by side here in almost life size. And if I go this way, I'm definitely getting one life size. This is a big tablet. I don't know whether they've got it right or not. I'm gonna have to play with it. Holy moly, does it look magnificent. First power on. I don't care what anybody says, Samsung's AMOLED displays are the best. Hands down, they make the best displays of any mobile device. When I look at this and I look at the HP Spectre that I've been using as a daily driver for the last week or two, while I've been testing that one out, when I look at this compared to my MacBook Air, when I look at this compared to a Surface laptop, it's very subjective to say one screen is better than another. Usually there's a trade-off. Well, the brightness is higher nits. Well, the colors are a little bit more saturated. Well, you know, it handles this different. As an all-around screen, all I can say is it has been a joy for my eyeballs to look at this screen. They are screaming with the choirs, singing hallelujah and enjoying how it looks. It is smooth. The colors are crisp and sharp and vibrant. The fonts and the text sizes are great. I turned mine down on the screen size setting just a little bit because it's a little bit big. I like it tighter because I want to be able to use this as a laptop as well as a tablet. And so as far as look, feel, fit, finish, premium tablet, very thin, feels light, screen's amazing. That's it for the hardware side of things. So let's talk about a couple of other goodies. If you pre-ordered this, and there is still time if you're watching this review on the day it comes out, they are throwing in a keyboard pack that is ridiculously expensive. It's $349 in my opinion. However, it's also genius. What they have done is they've taken the best of the Surface Pro and said, we get it. A tablet this size needs to have some kind of a kickstand. They're absolutely right, and Apple is wrong on this. What I like about Samsung is the way they've approached it. Dude, the keyboard case is bigger than the tablet itself. So it looks like I've got a back cover and a keyboard. So this is a two-part accessory now. $350, which I think is obscenely expensive. You know, these guys sell tablets that cost less than that. And this is just the accessory for the Tab S8 series. But again, because of the pre-orders, and as I'm filming this, it's still pre-order time. I'm not sure I'm going to get this video up in time. So if I don't, then forgive me. I guess we'll edit that out. Tablet, meet the cover. And now that's magnetically attached on, but look what I've got. Oh yeah. You can thank Microsoft and the Surface for that. So I can use it skinny and naked if I want to, but then I can also just put the back on and just use the back. This is such a good idea, like for real. Because how many times do you want to just prop the thing up? You're using it in the kitchen or at the table, and I don't need the keyboard on it all the time. If I'm working on my desktop, my laptop that's docked in or whatever, doing like real stuff, and this is a secondary display, I don't necessarily need the keyboard getting in the way. So now I can just dock the keyboard. It's just going to magnetize to the bottom. And I'm in. That's it. Full on laptop mode. Thank you very much. And I can go all the way down, almost flat, and I can come back up to pretty much any height that I want. It's not a one-step or a two-step. Lots of frustration when I've used iPads and iPad Pros. I'm not hating on them. I know they're a great device for some people, but I'm just trying to be objective here, folks. When you use an iPad, you are going to use it the way Apple wants you to, not the way you want it to. And their stands, their keyboard cases, all those kind of things, there's caveats and there are sacrifices made to do what they need it to do. They want it to float high, the center of balance is slightly different, so they're going to tilt it at certain angles, all that kind of fun stuff. What's really bizarre to me is the trick my eyes are playing when I have it like this with the keyboard. So with keyboard mode on, I've gone straight to a mouse pointer. I don't know if you can see that or not, if it's coming out well. It literally looks like I'm using a laptop. But look at the size on that. Everything's full size and normal. Something that's not right on the HP Spectre, which we're going to talk about keyboards when I do that review. But people just like put the keys in the same place as everybody else so that my muscle memory works. Yes, the travel's a little bit thinner, but if you're used to low travel keyboards, you're not going to have an issue with it at all. Very much like a typical Ultrabook. It genuinely looks like a laptop. Like full on like a laptop, because there's not really any compromise. Sure, the trackpad could be a little bit bigger, but it's not a mini one like you get on a Surface Pro 8, which is my biggest gripe about the Surface Pro. The keyboards are awesome, but I just don't like the trackpad that much. You've got gaps down the side because it's so wide, there's spare space on here, and typing is exactly what you'd expect. It types really well. With the keyboard on, in tablet mode, the mouse instantly appears, it's easy to navigate, it works really well. I still think Android OS with Samsung's overlay is a more usable overall experience for anybody needing a hybrid tablet. If you want tablet first and tablet only, yes, then you can go do what you want, iPad, some other Android tablets if you want to go that way. But if you need that hybrid where you want to do a bit more like a real computer, where maybe there's apps that don't exist or they don't work the way you want them to. I struggle with file management, moving around large files, zipping, unzipping. Android gives you very close functionality to that. The other thing that's really interesting about this tablet is something called DeX mode. Samsung started this years ago where they took a phone and they said, okay, here's my Galaxy. I can plug it in and use a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse with a monitor, and this phone is going to drive that screen. I think it's a great idea, but they've brought DeX mode to the Galaxy Tab S8, but they've brought it in a slightly nuanced way. Yes, you can, plug in a monitor, you can use a Bluetooth keyboard and mouse and all that kind of fun stuff, or you can go into DeX mode right on the tablet. Why would you do that? I hear you ask. Well, here's the genius. And to me, this is the best implementation of a 2-in-1 tablet on the market today. In DeX mode, the software switches and it starts to function like a regular Windows PC. Start menu across the bottom, still got the mouse. Now when you click on an app, it opens in a window, not as a full screen app. In tablet mode, you're talking split screens. You can't overlay the same way. It doesn't see them as independent windows, neither does iOS. But in DeX mode, it does. So it's almost like they've merged these two ways of working, the desktop traditional way and the touch first tablet way. And they're saying, hey, you know what? Use whatever works for you. If you're using the thing as a tablet, use it in tablet mode. If you're using it where you want to get more productive work done, kind of like a laptop, use it in laptop mode. We'll give you the keyboard, we'll give you the pen, you're ready to go. As a hybrid device, they've nailed it. So far from what I've seen, they've absolutely nailed it. And I'm really excited to see if this can replace my daily driver laptop for normal running about to the office and lightweight work when I don't need to be on a powerful machine. From what I've seen so far, I think it can. I think this software helps. The implementation here is really good. I was worried that they had taken a tablet, just blown it up, and we're basically going to have an oversized phone. But they haven't. They've put a lot of thought and effort into the software to make this work, and make it work is exactly what it does. Finally, let's talk about the pen. Another thing I really like about a lot of manufacturers, Samsung is one of them here, is they make a device and they include things with it. It's the same with HP and the Spectre 16 that we're going to review here in just a little while. They include things like the pen instead of charging me $100 extra for it. And I think it's the right thing to do. You're selling me a device on the premise and the promise that I can use it in all these different ways and do all these cool different things with it. Why do I want to go and buy something separately? Because nobody's buying a 14.6 inch tablet to only ever use it on their lap. I mean, okay, maybe they will, but I highly doubt it. You're buying it because you really want a hybrid and you want to be able to do different things. The pen feels nice. It's got a good rubbery feel to it. The nib writing on the screen has a really nice amount of friction, and it's one of my favorites so far. And the case they've included actually has a molded shape so the pen can go in there when you're carrying it and not get lost. But for now, my initial thoughts after taking a look at this tablet are, wow, I am impressed more than I thought I would be. Definitely impressed with the software and the work that Samsung has done. If you're using a Samsung phone with a Samsung tablet, you know that they've really worked hard at seamlessly integrating them. You got all the same features as the iOS world, calls that you can answer on both, text messages that show up on both. You're not going to lose out in any of those ways. Holy moly, I'm impressed. Till next time, let's go out there and be amazing.